and Tommy will launch in just a second to brighten your day. With CommBank Yellow, you get discounts and exclusive experiences, more recognition for you, and benefits for your business too. Say hello to CommBank Yellow today.
It's the one and only
Carrie Bickmore.
And Tommy Little.
This
Is Carrie and Tommy.
Yeah, welcome to another Carrie and Tommy podcast. You got to make sure you're following on the socials at Carrie Tommy Show. How are you guys going?
I had a proper dinner last night. You'll be happy to know.
Did ya?
Yeah, no girl dinner. Tuna mornay.
Oh, did you? Because
Saw what you had.
if you missed yesterday, because told us about her girl dinner, which was a stale cracker with pre-sliced cheese
And some gherkins.
pickle.
And I had a Toblerone. I had a bit of apple.
Oh, and a microwaved egg.
It was actually
yuck.
delicious. But last night I had a proper dinner. But what I loved was you talked about how while we're over here having girl dinners, you've started cooking like a man and making full course meals just for yourself. Delicious meals.
Hang on, that's not quite what I said.
But you did. You cooked
I feel-
two
'cause
steaks
I feel like
and pasta.
girl- I
That's
feel like-
man food.
Yeah, that is man food. But I feel like girl dinners are what dudes used to do, which is not put in any effort.
Yeah.
And I've just recently started enjoying cooking by myself.
But last night you sent a message to the group WhatsApp for work here with a photo of the most delicious looking pasta.
It was so
And you
good.
were like, girl dinner, ha, ha, ha. And then we
was so
worked
good.
out that you had made Bella Hadid's recipe, which is girl dinner.
I don't think Bella Hadid can claim a spicy vodka rigatoni.
She created it.
Did she actually?
Yeah. Mhm.
Did she? I didn't know Bella was such a thing in the kitchen, chef.
You get cooking.
Yeah, I get it. So much still to come because, which is good because it's only the very start of the show. I've just been told it was Gigi Hadid, Carrie.
Oh, same.
No one is furious at that mistake. No one is in their car going, it's Gigi. I hate when they get the Hadids confused. They're not the same person. We got a year's worth of free outfits to give away, but up next, I want to talk to business people because today I took a meeting.
Did you?
Yep. Not only did I take the meeting, I moved the meeting. And I moved it to, I think, the best location that's ever happened for a meeting. And you can do this too. So business people, stay with us.
Carrie and Tommy.
You guys on top of your KPIs out there?
Oh.
Anyone?
What's a KPI? Key
remember.
performance indicator? Yeah.
As if you don't know.
I don't know if I've worked at a job where I had a KPI. Or is
This one, it's ratings.
I was going to say, does a KPI is it different in every job?
I actually.
Do you know what I mean? Like, is a
pretending to
KPI
know
just mean
business.
you have to meet some kind of bar? It's
Yeah.
not actually, yes.
Sorry, I don't know. Because this may shock the world.
Is there KPIs in comedy? It's just ticket sales.
Laughs, ticket sales.
Oh, how many
yeah.
laughs per hour do you got to get? What's the KPI?
I'm down to laughs per minute. Quite good ratio.
Oh, sorry, that was for
No,
Eli's
don't you
KPI.
dare. 'Cause this is one of my main KPIs. It's take other people and claim them. So, as I said, Carrie, business is not my thing, but I took a meeting today.
What did you take a meeting for?
I took a meeting, and you may be aware, but I double booked the meeting because
The meeting room? 'Cause you
no,
can do
just
that.
a meeting. I forgot that I had a meeting.
Right.
And I'd told my friend I was coming to a funeral of someone she knew. Anyway, whatever. I was going to that, and then I got a message from the person I was meant to have a meeting with, and they said, "Hey, I'm going to be a tad late to our meeting." And I went, being the businessman I am, I forgot that I even had the meeting. And that is going to, my one meeting of the day I've double booked for, and that's going to butt right up against the funeral. So I wrote back and I said, I've got this idea. Can we reschedule the meeting slightly by time and quite a lot by location? Because it was going to be in a boardroom.
Why was it? What's the meeting for?
It's a meeting with my manager.
Yeah.
Right. And they have an office, and I was going to go in to chat about something, and they just sit around in a meeting room, like a lot of meetings. You probably don't get it. But anyway, so someone brings in tea. It's all a bit. It's
What kind of tea?
whatever you ask for. Actually.
Whoa.
Yeah. I used to go, a Rooibos.
Oh. And you
That's
had a
South
little bit of
African.
a
You might eat a
rooibos.
few of them when you're drink a few.
I'm aware. I'm the one that drinks it. Thanks, mate. And anyway, so I changed the time slightly to allow me, without having to say to her that I've double booked, to allow me to then attend both events, both the funeral and the meeting.
You live in
But-
such a selfish world.
I was going to a
It
funeral.
is one of his KPIs.
No, the point is just everybody has to revolve around you.
Oh, wasn't it? It wasn't my funeral.
No, but you're the
It
one that
might
double
be
booked.
soon.
Just keep a diary, mate. Was one of the
My
people
manager keeps
I was
the
going to
diary.
say, was one of the people you were meeting with the person who normally keeps
my
your diary?
Yes,
Yes.
100%. But I didn't put the personal engagements in there. So anyway, I moved the time slightly, and the location from the boardroom, I've actually sent you because she then took a photo because the rest of the people at management didn't believe she was meeting me there and thought she was just going by herself. Can you have a look at the photo of where said meeting took place?
You, en route to a funeral, stopped at a
No, for a meeting.
nail salon to have a pedicure.
No, I'm not having a pedicure. I'm getting
It's a
a foot and
pedicure.
calf massage thing.
Your foot is in a foot bath. That's a pedicure.
We talked about this the other day. That's how they clean your feet before they then massage.
You had your meeting there.
Yeah, so that's my manager in the next chair.
Back to what I said before. Selfish.
Why? I pay for my manager to get one as well. That's actually
So generous.
how many massages you paid for today
Did you?
that aren't yours? Carrie, answer the question. None. Donuts. Carrie doesn't care for other people.
I did get one yesterday, so
For free,
I was
too.
feeling a bit.
I think we paid that out of the show
Yeah,
budget.
we did pay that out of the
No,
show.
you just got the guy from finance to
We're
come
no
in
longer
and
doing
rub
a
me up.
surprise and delight at the end of the year.
Wasn't Tommy late for the show last week because he had a massage?
Yes, he's always late. It's what I mean. It's Tommy time.
I was at a funeral.
Did
guys.
you at any
Bit of
point
respect.
Not your
stop saying
funeral.
that? Did at any point you say to your manager, "I forgot about the meeting"?
I said I have to go to a funeral, and she said, "You're such
So
a
you
wonderful
used
human."
someone's funeral.
Well, yeah, because it was.
Exactly. He's such a wonderful human.
Yeah. She said, "Whose funeral is it?" And I said, "I don't know. I'm just turning up."
Oh, now you're using that. You regret, don't you?
I do regret that. Ross. I do regret that. I love you if you're listening. You know who you are. 131060. Where'd you take the meeting? Okay. I don't reckon there's anyone else doing it at a massage
I thought you
parlour.
were going to invite her to the funeral with you, so I'm really glad that this is
My
in
manager.
a way where it's ended because I thought that's how you were going to tee up both events. to
No,
make sure you
don't
did
do the
say-
meeting. Not do the
Like,
meeting at the
this is
funeral.
going to be a real stretch. So I appreciate that.
131060. Because I once had a meeting with Tom Gleeson, and he zoomed in, and he was in a spa at his hotel. So
Pretty
it
good.
has been done before.
I do think COVID changed everything, and meeting places are much more fluid than they used to be.
Yes. And
You know
he
what
was
I mean?
he was ahead of his time, though, because that was about 5 years before COVID.
Was it?
Yeah, we were working on a TV show, and he zoomed in. Sorry, it wasn't Zoom. It was that speaker in the middle of the table. And we had to say to him, "Bro, we can hear the bubbles." 131060, where did you take the meeting? Give us a call.
Carrie and Tommy.
Live for free, still to come.
Oh,
We're
yes.
giving away a year's worth of a new wardrobe. But some news has just come in that I've seen on Instagram that I wanted to bring
Oh, yeah?
to you right now about the lovely Magda Szubanski, a beautiful woman, friend of our show. I have an incredibly soft spot for Magda. I was on the project the night that she came out to Australia and bared her soul, and it was such a beautiful, moving night, and we've been friends ever since. And she's put on her Instagram the sad news that she's been diagnosed with stage 4 mantle cell lymphoma. She says, lovelies, not some great news. She explains what she's been diagnosed with, a rare and fast-moving blood cancer. She says it's serious, but I've started one of the best treatments available, the Nordic protocol, she said, and I'm lucky to be getting absolutely world-class care. I won't sugarcoat it. It's rough, but I'm hopeful. And then she said, I'll be lying very low while my immune system takes a hammering. So if you see me out and about, don't hug me, kiss me, or breathe anywhere near me. Wave enthusiastically from a safe distance and know I love you madly. And she said that it's an obscure cancer, and the only way she found it was via a breast screen where they found that her lymph nodes were up. And she said she's been feeling pretty rat shit for ages. And so she asked for extra bloods to be taken. And they went, actually, yes, you're right. There is something else going on. So she said the takeaway is get tested and listen to your body. So sending Magda all the love in the world for a fast recovery.
Absolutely.
She said, for now, just know I'm in good hands, good spirits, but I reserve my human right to be a cranky old mole, which I've never seen, but I look forward to that version of you, Magda.
All the
All
love.
the best.
Carrie and Tommy.
Something with my diddle. And when I was young, I made a fiddle.
Shaboozey's good news for
I
you Thursday.
don't have a lot, I got a little.
It's Gary and
It's
Tommy.
carry big more time a little.
You just repeated the same word.
Yeah, that's right. People rhyme Kodak with Kodak, so
Yeah.
you're in good company.
Thank you.
Me, you in the middle.
There you go.
Someone's throwing themselves in the ball pit late.
Do you like Peter Siddle?
Oh, she remembers the ones from last time.
She had to go at the diddle.
She laughs any harder, she my piddle.
Her favorite show's Malcolm in the Middle. I'm getting desperate.
So,
No, hang on.
as
Producer
you-
Sammy's got one. Step up.
Have we brought out the new instrument, the fiddle?
Yep,
that's good.
we did
Oh, we
that.
have done that?
I did that, yep.
I'm out.
Yep.
Come and have a giggle with Tommy Little.
Oh, yeah.
He started, but he should have quitted.
Okay. You know, as you get older,
Yeah, I'm aware.
things become less awe-inspiring.
Do
Like-
they?
I think
I don't
you
think
know,
so,
when you're
Carrie.
younger and like you're learning something new all the time because everything is new in the world, right?
Mm.
And then as you get older, I think you have less moments where you're like, "Oh my god!"
So
or,
I-
wow.
So I don't want to throw what you're about to talk about off the rails, but I've found the opposite for me. I think as I get older, I'm more fascinated by things and understand things that I've taken for granted.
But do you find them more? How often, as an adult, are you like, "Oh my god,
Like
that
a
is
lot.
phenomenal"?
Like a lot. Like I watched a half an hour YouTube video on how a rice cooker works and the technology involved to make it work. So the heating element, when it's based on a thermostat in anyway. What I'm trying to say is all these things that I often talk about, like the wind and where the wind comes from, even the
know.
weather. I'm now fascinated by
Rice
and
cookers
how
are
the world.
awe-inspiring.
But honestly, the technology involved is
I bet it
is
is.
amazing.
And I wouldn't be able to understand it. Much like I can't understand the thing I'm about to tell you,
Okay.
but I still, to this day, find awe-inspiring. I cannot see one of these without having my mind blown every single time,
Oh, I know.
without stopping, without getting emotional,
I know what it
without
is.
wondering how it happens, and
I know
without
what it is.
thinking it is, I think, the greatest natural, mind-blowing thing there is that we have.
So I know what you're talking about already, because I think the day that I die, if my memory flashes before me and the moments in my life, I saw a circular one of these when I was skydiving, and I talked about it on the show.
Yes.
And I will never forget that image, and I think I agree with you.
Rainbows.
Yes.
They are pure joy. It's like a piece of kid life, but in the real world. It's like a make-believe. It's like a unicorn, but in the real world.
Yes.
It's like something you read in the books, but we get to see it in real life.
Yes, I forget sometimes unicorns are not real.
But do you know what I mean? Like it's like,
I
yes,
do,
I do
yeah.
too. But I just think there's something about it. You'll see a grey sky, a blue sky, whatever, and then all of a sudden these colours piled up and you think, how? I still don't understand how. And every time someone explains it to me, I don't understand. If you're a kid and you can explain it to me at kid level, 13, 10, 16, I'd
If
love
you can
to
explain it
understand
without using the
rainbows,
word refracting.
refracting.
I'd
Because I don't
appreciate
really,
it.
that means bouncing back off, doesn't it?
Dunno.
Anyway, I don't really understand. I was obsessed as a kid with rainbows. To be fair, I was actually a bit spooked out by rainbows because I don't remember what book it was, but it always spoke about what happened at the end of a rainbow and the pot of gold. And there was something a little bit dark about it or something. And I used to be scared of finding the end of a rainbow. And now there is no such thing as the end. You can never find the end, can you?
Well, so someone told me when I saw my circle one, someone told me that the only thing that stops you seeing a circle is the horizon.
Ah, so it just
Do you
keeps
get what I
going.
mean?
But could you ever stand and have it cross you where you're standing, or is it always in the distance?
I think it's always in the distance.
So could you ever
I think-
so you could see it ending, say, in a paddock?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think it ends at the horizon.
Okay.
I will hear from any rainbowologist out there.
The only other thing I can think of that is that much of a natural wonder that still blows your mind
Rice cookers.
is lightning.
Lightning.
I think
is-
lightning might be the only
amazing.
thing as an adult that every single time you see
No,
it,
what
you're
about-
like, that is insane.
What about shooting stars?
unbelievable. I will
Oh,
also.
yes.
I will-
Actually, that is pretty cool.
I
too.
also didn't know shooting stars were real until I was like 19 or 20.
No, I didn't
And I
either.
saw one and I was like, oh my
Are
God.
they
did
actually
you guys
shooting
know
stars,
this
or are
existed?
they what are they called? Or are they comets or whatever?
I don't
Ooh,
know.
That's a good question. I will add a much simple one to the mix, and it's getting me through if you live in a colder part of the country. winter can be a bit flattening sometimes with the rain and the greyness. I've got a fireplace, and simply watching a fire crackle away and watching the flames dance on the logs, I think it's pretty
Apparently
wonderful.
it's really good for your brain as well.
Why?
Is it?
I don't know. I can't remember. It does something to like
Because of the way it all
It's
moves.
It's as calming as watching an aquarium.
Yeah, like meditation or something
It
like that.
is.
But is it as mind-blowing as when you see a rainbow or a shooting star
Do you
or
like
lightning?
playing
I also
fire.
think fireworks are like
Actually, fire,
watching
but they're not a
fireworks go
natural
boom,
thing.
boom.
I'm thinking of a natural thing
natural.
that's still I think there's something also about the colours always being in that row, the
Yes.
colour, which is not the same as the song, is it?
What?
I don't know the song.
It's
Yeah, red and yellow and pink and green.
We listen to
purple
different music.
and
Look at that song there.
blue.
Oh, here we go. Producer Jess. I know, we listen to the same music.
13, 10, 60.
Yes.
Kids, explain to me rainbow, if you
Great,
can.
great.
But also, what's something else in nature? Is there anything better
Oh my
than a
gosh.
rainbow or lightning?
I've got one. I
Okay,
can tell
tell
you-
us up next.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
For your Thursday Arvo, it's Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little, and on 131060, what leaves you in awe?
Saw a rainbow yesterday, and I have the same feeling every single time I see one. Don't understand it, but it leaves my mouth aghast,
Yes.
open with that is
Agape.
a gape. My mouth is agape.
Yeah.
I'm in awe
Yeah.
of rainbows.
Yes.
Rainbows and lightning, I think, are the two things I've decided still to this day blow my mind.
Can I give you another one?
Yeah.
Twisters, like tornadoes.
I don't know if I've seen one.
I haven't seen one in real life. I've only
No.
seen one with Helen Hunt.
Is
So
that-
I've never seen one in real life, but when I was in the States, we had a storm and one of them touched down like a few kilometres away and the whole room shook. And I was like, whoa.
And if you did get to see it, like how close do you have to be to see it and not be in harm's way of it? Can you see it
Yeah.
from quite a far
I
away?
don't know,
don't know.
Like a funnel?
but I was in awe.
Yeah.
Can I do one now
Yeah,
while we're here?
of course.
This is more of a scent one. The smell of petrichor really just cleanses my system and makes me very happy.
No,
inside.
but that's not. I'm talking about
Petrol.
natural things that
It
just
is a
make-
natural thing.
but that make you just like think, oh my god, that is
I get this back-
incredible.
Can I get this back on track?
Yes.
That's the last time I get
Just to
one.
be clear, what's petrichor again?
It's the smell of rain.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought you meant petrol.
Did I? Can I not? Am I speaking?
No, you
No.
said petrichor. I just
I don't
didn't
know
know
what
what it was.
petrichor is.
The smell of rain.
It's rain on asphalt.
Why don't you
isn't
just
it?
say that?
Not necessarily because the word's petrichor.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never heard of the word
I
petrichor.
thought that's
Carrie's
quite-
in
Someone's
awe of
got
petrichor.
someone's got a word a day calendar.
No. Petrichor was one of the first words I ever learned.
Oh, my God.
I've got
Petrichor
3
and
kids,
Dad.
and I don't reckon they
Petrichor.
know petrichor. Hey, Adelaide, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. I love your name. My daughter's name is Adelaide. It is a great name.
Oh, thank you.
What are you calling about? Something that makes you go, or are you explaining rainbows to me?
I'm explaining rainbows.
Okay, great. In a way that I can understand because I'm not the smartest person,
Yeah.
Adelaide.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Give it to me.
So rainbows occur when there's sunlight and rain. The raindrops act as a prism, and as the sunlight passes through the raindrops split up the colours, and that's what causes a rainbow.
You lost me at Prism, to be honest, Adelaide.
Adelaide, it's hard because you didn't say refraction, which is what we were hoping
It
to
just
avoid.
separates the lights into like different colours, which causes the rainbow.
What light? The sunlight.
Yeah, the sunlight.
It separates the sunlight into different colours.
Yeah, that's what the raindrops
Why
do.
do we see it, Adelaide, in the shape that it's in? Why don't we just see it everywhere instead of in a certain patch?
I'm not sure by that one, actually. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Have you ever seen? I got to see a circle one when I jumped out of a plane. Have you ever seen a circle one?
No, I've only ever seen like the semicircle ones that go across the
Yes.
sky.
Have you ever seen the end of a rainbow? And is that possible? Do you know that?
I'm not sure if it's possible, but I've never seen one.
No, I'm
Adelaide, you're quite smart for someone quite young. How old are you?
I'm 15.
What do you want to do with your life? What do you hope to be?
I hope to be a surgeon one day.
That's
Oh my
sick.
God, that's amazing.
Good on you.
Wow. What, in any particular area?
Not particularly. Neurology like fascinates me though.
Mm. Can I just have a quick
wow.
word with my co-host?
Yeah.
Carrie,
Yeah.
a 15-year-old wanting to be a surgeon should be impressive enough. Why did you have to ask? And are you going to specialise? Like, what?
Because I think often if you know what you want to do at 15, you really know what you want to do.
Okay.
And so that's why I thought
stand
Adelaide
corrected.
might
Yep,
know
yep,
exactly.
fair enough. Thank you,
That's
Adelaide.
fascinating, Adelaide. Good on you. All the best with your studies. Mel, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. What do you find still awe-inspiring as an adult?
Well, I'm going to blow your mind because I live out on 40 acres and we regularly see rainbows from start to finish. I actually DM'd you a photo, so your producers have it.
Okay, hold on. What do you mean? Like, as in when you can see the end?
Yep.
Give us.
Okay.
I've also just thought of two more.
Yeah, what?
So bioluminescent plankton, the plankton that light up in the water.
I've got to swim with it before. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's so cool. And firebugs.
But also, hold on. Can you see Mel's photo here?
No.
But Mel, that end, that's off in the distance. Can you get to it?
Yep.
You can.
Is there gold there?
No, there's no gold there.
Yeah.
So could you walk through it?
It just fizzles out to nothing. So you can see it from a distance, and then when you get closer to it, it just gets lighter and lighter until there's nothing.
So when you get to the end,
dreams right now.
when you get to the end, there's nothing.
Nothing.
That probably means it's not the end, Mel.
But
when you walk past it, and then when you get to the end and you see nothing, and then if you turn around and look the other way, you can see the colours again.
Is a rainbow an optical illusion? Like it's never. It's like.
Like it's an, I don't think it's an illusion. I think it's only optical. Like a mirage pretends to be something else. Like,
oh my God, these words.
do you know what I mean? Like you pretend to see an oasis,
but it's just not tangible, is it? There's no way you can.
I think it's just an optical.
It's just an optical.
Gilly.
Yeah, I think.
Gilly, use words I understand. What are you calling about?
Oh, are you calling to Gilly from Newcastle?
Yeah, I am.
Greetings from beautiful but soggy Newcastle. I was actually calling because I'm from a beautiful little outback town in central Queensland called Claremont, often referred to as the jewel in the crown of Australia. And I'm fascinated with fires and fire pits because out in the bush we call them bush television, and you don't need to do anything else. You just like to sit around the fire. It's absolutely captivating, absolutely mesmerising, and it's such a good opportunity to stop what you're doing, think about all that's good in the world, and have a good yarn with your family and your friends.
There's something about the phrase "the fire dancing" that you know exactly what that means.
Yes.
The flames.
Yes. Absolutely, and at the risk of being a hog and doubling up, just doubling on that the phytoplankton piece.
Yeah.
I used to row in Florida, or flow rider as I call it, because I'm very gangster, you see. So, but sometimes they have when the dinoflagellates light up, which are a type of phytoplankton, and you're rowing in the dark in the mornings. It's like rowing in a big sea of glitter, and the puddles and the wake off your boat from the oars just send glitter for about 200 metres following the boat. It's
Good on you, Gilly. I like it, and your passion in your voice excites my very own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gilly was full of life.
Can we find out what? Can we go back to Gilly? Gilly, what does such a passionate person do for a job?
Oh, me. I live in, I'm from the bush, but I live in beautiful Newcastle, and I'm head of stakeholder relations for a renewable energy company.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm helping keep your lights on and keep your radio station running so all of your wonderful listeners will continue to hear your wonderful words every single day.
Bless you, Gilly. Good on you.
Joe, what still leaves you awe-inspired? Hey.
Well, I've got a couple of things. So one's something that's happening right now is the leaves changing, the autumn leaves.
Carrie says there's no autumn in Perth.
Well, I grew up in Western Australia, Joe, and we just didn't have the changing seasons the way I've noticed on the East Coast. And still seeing autumn leaves fall and the colours also makes me go, that is incredibly beautiful.
Yeah. And we all, as a family, we make sure we go to the Royal Botanic Gardens for the oak trees, or Fitzroy Gardens as well. It's beautiful.
Yes.
My second thing is something that happens every day is the ocean, so the tide coming in and out and being controlled by the moon.
So I saw a video that I didn't understand the other day that said the tide is not actually controlled by the moon.
Oh.
And it's controlled by something to do with the rotation of the Earth and the oceans expanding and contracting. Do you know anything I'm talking about?
Okay.
I didn't understand it, so I can't.
I thought it was all Mr. Moon.
Hey?
I thought it was all the man on the moon doing it.
Look, I'll have a quick look and we'll reconvene just on the other side of great words from our sponsors.
Carrie and Tommy.
Let's talk Nuns Gone Wild, Carrie. Brazilian nuns specifically. You know it's my
the
favourite
best kind.
Yes. 100%. They were on TV.
What's different about a Brazilian nun?
Oh, because they've got none. I get it.
Yeah. It's good. It's very
Jesse.
good. As you know, all I watch is the Catholic TV channel in Brazil. And as you know, Karen.
Yeah.
Or that, and I watch the Cook Up with Adam Liao.
Oh,
They're
such a cultural
and Taskmaster, because
experience.
I'm on it, obviously, tonight, 7:30 on
Are
Channel
you?
10.
Of course.
Yes. So I was perusing the Catholic TV channel in Brazil, and I noticed nuns just doing normal nun stuff. Here they are singing. Get it, nuns?
I've seen this. They're really good. Beautiful.
And I've got to apologise, talking about getting on board things late, because producer Zoe actually sent me this clip a few days ago and I forgot to bring it on.
Yeah, and I don't think you watched it on Catholic TV. I think you saw it on the Project TV.
No, producer Zoe was onto it before that.
Or does she watch Catholic TV?
She watches Catholic TV. And that is where they go from just singing like nuns to putting a bit of flavour on it, because one of the nuns breaks out a bit of beatboxing. Get it, nun?
It's so good. It's even better with the visuals.
It's
The
even
visuals
better
are
with
great.
the visuals, yes, but we are a radio show.
And then they start dancing in unison. Did you see that?
The two-stepping,
Yeah, the two-step.
absolutely. And I said to Jesse Boy, the man on the ones and twos here, I said, how good are nuns? And he said, you won't believe what else they've been up to.
Oh, so there was some nuns in Italy. Mother Superior Aileen Pereira Gamachi.
I call her Marchie Mum.
Yeah.
The nun.
She was brought in to help the Castrap Monastery at St. Gervasio. They need to make a little bit of money.
Gervasio?
St. Gervasio.
Isn't that a
Mate,
wine?
that
Is
is
that a
our
wine
favourite.
sort? Gervasio? Gervasi?
A Sangiovese.
Sangiovese is a wine,
It's
isn't
a
it?
Spanish wine.
Oh, well, interesting, because her idea to make some money was to start brewing and bottling their own Prosecco.
Oh, I love
which
it.
the nuns are not
Yes,
allowed to
girls.
do. And so 4 of the nuns escaped
Oh.
because it's a
They
closed-door
escaped the
nunnery.
habit.
Yeah.
No, what is it?
The
Back in the
convent.
The habit's what they wear.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sister Act. I'm trying to go back to my Sound of Music days and my
and they
Sister
wrote a
Act
letter
days.
to the Pope. She got in a lot of trouble.
What did
They
say
said to the Pope, let
Well, they
us brew
said-
our Prosecco.
No, the 4 that escaped, they were against the brewing of the Prosecco because they're not allowed to.
Did they write a letter
They
to
were
the
rats.
now dead Pope?
I don't know. I
Hold on,
assume
hold
so.
on.
Because this one might have slipped through the cracks.
Oh,
The
no, sorry.
nuns
The
that
Pope
escaped-
got involved and sent someone out there and was like, you need to tidy this up. They can't be brewing Prosecco out there.
Imagine that.
And so then she got in a lot of trouble. And now she said she needs to talk to her lawyer and to God to figure out what to do next.
Who's more powerful?
who charges more?
So, Bickers, you know how you often say, I'm not a regular mum, I'm a cool mum.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
Daily.
want to speak to people who say, I'm not a regular nun, I'm a cool nun. Nuns,
Do you reckon there's many around?
listening to
Nuns
our
that
show,
are just incredible.
100%.
What they give up in their life.
What?
But
What?
okay, because now you're just saying you want to speak to regular nuns. But I want to speak to cool
No,
nuns
cool
who
nuns
have got side
also.
hustles.
Yeah, cool nuns can also have given up a lot in their life.
Yeah, but also
Yeah.
picked up some other things on the side. You know what I'm saying? 13 10 60. If you're listening,
Yeah, because
and
when
you're not,
things are banned, they go underground.
beatboxing and making Prosecco aren't banned. 13 10 60. If you're not just a regular nun, but a cool nun, give us a call. Anything to add, Carrie?
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
Be Thursday, Arvo. It's Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little. And on 13 10 60, are we doing Nuns Gone Wild? Is that
Yeah.
what we just spoke
I'm not a regular nun. I'm a cool nun.
That's right.
Brazilian nuns are beatboxing on Catholic TV over there in Brazil. Yeah, sister. Accurate.
It's actually so cool. Beatboxing's so great.
Have a go, Carrie.
No, I can't.
Have a go, Carrie.
No, I can't.
Drop a beat.
I'm not a fun nun. I'm just a cool mum.
G'day, Lisa.
Hello, fellas. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good.
good.
Are you a cool nun?
I'm not, but I have an auntie who's in her 80s who has always been a cool nun.
Oh,
So she's a port drinking card shark. I remember as a kid being in the back of the ute. There'd be about 20 kids in the back of the ute. She'd be driving around the farm. She'll dance at 21st and 18th and still to this day is exactly the same. So
So, Lisa, I've got questions, and if we have any nuns listening that want to call up, and we'll do a different segment on it, because I have lots of questions I want to ask nuns. But do nuns exist only still in like a nunnery? I remember going to a camp in New Norcia in WA when I was a kid, a music camp, and we went to a nunnery. Or do nuns just roam around in normal households in society and don't wear the habit anymore, but they exist as a nun? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so she used to wear the habit years ago, like before, I reckon when I was little, and I'm in my 50s now. But now they live in like little units and stuff. Often, there'll be 4 or 5, 6 units, and there'll be, 1 or 2 in each. But and I'm, this is just my auntie, but once they get to an age where they can't survive by themselves, that's when often they'll go to, there's a few big convents around that they tend to go there to live the,
And how's she lived her life? Like, what are the vows she's taken, and then does she still follow them?
Yeah, definitely. So she's not married. She doesn't. That's pretty much the only. She speeds in her car. I'll give her that much. God knows how many. Oh, well, he actually does, I suppose. How many little car accidents and stuff she's had along the way, but that's pretty much it, I think. To be honest, she does a lot of youth work in schools, that sort of stuff. Does a lot of funerals, all that sort of stuff still now. A lot of community work, so, grief work and all that sort of stuff.
And so, Lise, the port drinking that you mentioned.
I remember that as a kid. I remember that.
Is that a common, is she on her own in the nunnery doing that?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But, that.
So the vow,
wonderful.
Because the main thing is the vow of chastity, yeah?
And the vow of poverty is the other one.
Oh, right. And so she obviously took the vow of chastity after she then had family. So what age would she have entered the nunnery?
No, she went into the nunnery when she was, maybe late teens or early teens, late teens, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good on you, Lise. Thank you so much. It's fascinating. G'day, Rocky.
How you going, mate?
Yeah, pretty good. Are you a cool nun?
Well, no, I knew of one.
Who was that?
I can't remember her name, but we used to have a 18-plus adult business, and she used to answer the phone for us.
Really?
That's wild.
Yeah, and she was the one who applied for the job and all. So,
and when she would answer the phone, was she sitting there in a full habit?
That I'm not too sure, because I was never in there when they were there.
Did it hurt or help your sales?
Well, I'm not too sure. I reckon it actually probably helped.
Did you know she was a nun from the beginning?
I didn't know, but then later on, I found out, and I was like, wow, that's different.
How wonderful. Bickers.
See?
Nunderful.
No.
Gary and Tommy.
Tash Sultana is one of Australia's most unique musical exports, who propelled onto the world stage with their hit Jungle. Their latest EP, Return to the Roots, is a nostalgic journey reflecting on their childhood and, of course, as it says in the title, their musical roots. This is one of the most vulnerable Tash has been, but they've continued to do it all on their own terms. Welcome to the show, the one and only Tash Sultana.
Tash, there is so much to chat to you about. I don't even know where to start, but can we start with what you want people to know about where and who you are right now?
I don't know. Let me see. I feel like I've been pigeonholed in a way, because I was very anti-media. So for many, many years, I was anti-media. So what inevitably happened then is I would put out all these releases, and journalists or podcasters or whatever the orbit of media that you get your feed from would just come up with their own story
about your music
or me.
Oh.
So I feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there, where now it was very important to me to reclaim the narrative and really set the record straight, because at the beginning of my career, when I broke through with Jungle and kind of became a global artist in that period of time, which was like 2017, I kind of stopped telling the story after that because I was just, back then I was so rinsed from doing so much media and having to be here, there and everywhere for years and years and years that after that I was just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not talking to no one. I'm not doing any interviews. It's only about the music. I put it out and people can just listen and I don't care what they think. But now that's just not that doesn't get the story across the line. So I've wanted to reclaim the narrative. So with this release, I'm independent. I've always been independent. Every single song we did like a deep dive documentary piece to get the word out first, because then, you know, media just piggyback off that after a bit. So,
well, you're doing the work for them.
Pretty much, and I'm bloody tired.
What was the most common misinformation?
I think there's a thought that I am like this really aloof, like hippie, spiritual, like mushroom taking whatever. But actually, I am like so anal, hey. Like I am like regimented, militant as to be honest.
About what? Like
everything.
Right.
Because this is, you know, this is my dream.
Do you mean about making music, or is in even in
Everything.
life,
It's
like
all
what
me.
you eat,
Everything.
where you,
Discipline.
right.
Discipline. This is all me. Everything that I've done with Touch Sultana. Like there's not writers that come in. There's not producers that come in. There's no band that comes in. There's no label. It's me. So that's one thing that I would say is really, really important, is that reaffirming that to the audience. My fans know, but new fans don't always know the story, you know what I mean?
Are you regimented now as a result of being the complete opposite?
Yeah.
Right. And what was that period of time? What did that look like?
What do you think it was?
Okay. Oh my gosh, there's so much here. Up next, we need to talk sea urchins and mushrooms. Please stick around, Tash Sultana.
Carrie and Tommy.
Driving you home this afternoon is Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little. The brand new EP, Return to Roots from Tash Sultana, is out now, and they currently join us in studio.
One of the things about this album is you've said that it's looking back on some of the life-altering experiences you've had and reading some of those experiences, and you alluded there before that your ordered life now is as a result of being crazy for a while. During that period, there's a few things you talk about. You talk about an autoimmune disease after being, these feel like clickbait headlines, if I'm honest, to be poisoned by a sea urchin in the Maldives.
Yeah.
You can't make that up.
So when I got engaged, we went and had like a little engagement moon, and we went to the Maldives, and
Heaven.
I was surfing, and I purposely wore booties like surf boots, because the reef is so sharp, right? But that's not even like the most hectic part about surfing in the Maldives is it's the sea urchins. They're like as big as a basketball, and
Like with massive spikes.
Yeah, huge spikes, and
Like they'd look like bombs.
pretty much. So I wore boots the whole time, and I was just like, no, this is just I'm just too hot. It's the hottest water I've ever surfed in. It's way hotter
Like
than
a
Bali.
bath.
No, it's way hotter than Bali.
Yeah,
Like it's
right.
like a bath. Yeah. And I took my booties off and got one wave, fell off, put my foot down, and went, holy what is that? Yelled out, how do you know if you've stepped on a sea urchin? And they're like, nah, you wouldn't have. And I come out, and there's just all these black long spikes, like just hanging out my foot. And you pull them out, right? But the thing is they break. They splinter off and break, so you can't actually get them out of your foot
Oh, my
properly.
God.
So you got to like put your foot in like a bucket of piss. So I was sleeping.
I was of all the things that I would have anticipated to come out your mouth then.
Yeah.
I was not expecting the bucket of piss.
Yeah. So
Do you have to fill the bucket up yourself, or are you
Do they have buckets lying around ready to go?
got the bucket. I won't tell you where I got the piss from.
And that's meant to kill everything. Because they'd say that with jellyfish, but it's actually a myth. It's not.
Probably a myth.
It's probably a myth.
Yeah, I
as well.
just had pissy foot. Really.
It's just some people just spread it who
Yeah,
love to piss on other people's feet.
And so, but then what's the autoimmune disease as a result of that?
I just got really sick after that because in the spikes is poison, right? And then I just got really sick, and I've not been able to figure it out for like many, many years. And it's just kind of like morphed into heaps of different stuff. And because it weakened my immune system, when something's going around, I'll just get it. Like I've had COVID so many times, and I've had like everything you can think of because I just will get it.
Right.
And then I got really sick in 2022 when I was on tour, and I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, I feel like I'm going to actually die. Like, this feels not right. By the end of the tour, it was like a 35 show tour over like 8 weeks or something. And the last 4 shows, I was like, no, I couldn't stand up because my stomach was just so sore. Went in to the hospital in San Francisco, and then they did all these tests on me, and I had hepatitis. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, I was just so sick. But yeah, and then
what sort of hepatitis?
Hep A,
which is the one you get from water.
It was Hep A of the liver. It's from food.
Ah,
yeah.
I have a friend who I believe maybe this is a similar experience to you, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. It was years ago, and I think people don't realise that this can happen. We were young, we did mushrooms in Thailand, and then 6 months later, I reckon he was living in the UK, and he started having flashbacks to that, ended up having a full breakdown, got diagnosed with drug-induced psychosis, then schizophrenia, told he would never recover. And
has he recovered?
He has.
Yeah.
He's made a full recovery. But we're talking now, that was a period of 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And then he was finally out the other side.
Yeah.
And,
it's real. Like, it's obviously, that's a big part of my story. That happened to me when I was really, really young. And mixed feedback when people hear that, because they're like, you're on the psychedelic experience, man. And it's just like, well, this was my psychedelic experience.
So what was that experience for
I
someone
had
that's
a
never done it?
mental breakdown. I had drug-induced psychosis.
How soon after, when you used to do it all the time, or after one
No, that was the
incidence of
first
doing
time
it?
I ever did it, and I had a trip so bad that it has permanently altered my brain, yeah.
Oh.
Did a TED Talk on it many years ago.
Right. And what way has it altered it?
Every way. I just saw reality completely differently, and I've never been able to unsee that. But I think what it did was unlock like a depth in me as a person that maybe not many people get to. Just like a highly sensitive space of, I think maybe it's where I can create music from, which is tiring.
Yeah.
But I'm not in that space now, but yeah, it's a big part of my story that happened when I was like 16. I'm going to be 30 in like 2 weeks, and there's still like the residue of that crazy time happening, and all the things that have happened in my long as but short life.
Hearing all of this, you've honestly been through more in your life than most go through in a lifetime. But what happened to your wife after her cancer diagnosis and while under the knife is genuinely unbelievable. We need to hear all the details and how she's going up next.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
Driving you home this afternoon is Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little. The brand new EP, Return to the Roots from Tash Sultana, is out now, and they currently join us in studio.
So can we talk about your wife, Jamie?
Yeah.
So when was the cancer diagnosis?
End of last year.
Yeah.
She's good now. Just want to make that ahead of the story that we're about to get into. She's good. But at the end of last year, she had this lump on her knee for like the whole time I've known her, for 9 years. But at the beginning, she had had it checked and it was benign. So we don't worry about it. They said, you should probably remove it. But she didn't because it was benign. So then end of last year, it's causing a lot of pain. And I said, you really need to get that checked because it's been 9 years. And I don't think that's a good thing. Right. So she goes to the doctor. The doctor doesn't like the look of it. Sends her to the specialist. The specialist doesn't like the look of it. Sends her to get the scans. And the scans come back with the news that it is cancer. It's a sarcoma. So it's a rare cancer that happens mainly in women under the age of 30. And it's rare, and it grows in between your tissue joints. So like elbows, shoulders, knees, hips, all that. So hers is in the knee. So then they give us that news. I'm sitting on the floor, on the laptop, doing work, normal day. She just turns to me and goes, it's cancer. And I was just like, what? Because you just like don't really know how to take it. But then after that, That's really all we'd been told. We'd been told that it was cancer and you're going to have to get a biopsy, but you're not going to get a biopsy for another couple of weeks because everyone's going on holiday, right? Because the oncology department also go on holiday at Christmas.
Where are you? What part of the world are you here?
We're in
Australia, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it broad.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were.
No, we're in Australia.
Yeah.
So then we're like, well, what the hell does that mean? Like, what level is it? What grade is it? Has it traveled anywhere? Is it in your limbs? Is it in your blood? Like, what is the situation? We didn't know. So then we just said to each other, okay, well, we're just going to carry on as normal until instructed otherwise. So that's what we did. Then get the biopsy date. She goes in for the biopsy. They ask her, would you like local anaesthetic? And she says, yes, I would. And what did they do? They forgot to give her local anaesthetic, so she just like raw dogged that whole biopsy. They just drilled into the bone, and yeah. Although this is the beginning of the story, this isn't even the story yet. So that's part one.
Hang on, but surely there's screaming and
she wasn't comfortable,
and they just go, cool. They don't go, is the anaesthetic not working? Do you think we should stop?
Yeah, well, she said it's really, really painful. And then they were like, oh, well, we didn't put the local anaesthetic, but it's going to be done in a minute anyway. So they just did it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Then the biopsy comes back with more information, and then, you got to get surgery. Good news is, don't have to do chemo to shrink it, but you're just going to need surgery to get it out. Books in the surgery date next week. Wonderful thing, having private health, right? You'd think. And then surgery date comes around. It's pretty hectic. After it, the recovery is really long. You can't drive, you can't walk. You've got one leg pretty much for like about a month. So she's recovering, and then we thought, oh, well, let's take a peek underneath the dressings. It comes out the shower, takes the dressings off and goes, that's really strange that the scar is on the right-hand side of my knee when the tumour is actually on the left. And I said, they'll know what they're doing. They're professionals.
Classic
maybe,
going through the other side.
Yeah, maybe it's a different access point. Don't worry about it. Anyway, she goes to a post-op appointment, goes in, tells the surgeon. Surgeon dismisses her from the appointment. On the drive home, halfway on the drive home, we live far away from where this is, by the way, gets a call. Oh, my God, you're going to have to come back. We've operated on the wrong thing, and the tumour is still in your leg. The surgeon's hysteric on the phone, crying and so that's, yeah, well, we're confused too. Yeah, we're really confused. I'm in the studio when this has happened. My wife calls me and goes, hey, you're not going to believe this. And I go, who's dead? Because already before this, we'd had 2 people die. And I'm thinking, who's the third? And then she goes, yeah, so they operated on the wrong thing and I still have cancer. And I was like, I just hit the space bar on the playback when I was like in the studio. And I was like, what? What do you mean? She's like, yeah, I'm going to have to go in and do it again. And I was like, how does that happen? What did they remove? Because my understanding is from somebody who's had surgery, when you go in, they mark you up with a bloody Sharpie, pointing exactly where you got to be, doing surgery on. They ask you, what are you in for today? And you say, I'm having blah, blah, blah. And then just when you're in theatre, do they not put all your scans up on the wall with like a team of people?
But also, what are they getting out? Surely when they cut in and see there's nothing there.
Benign fatty tissue is what they cut out. So they'd cut out benign fatty tissue.
Oh, that's good. That's gone.
So it's great that it's gone. And then now we're like, holy shit, we got to do it again. So we did it all again. And now, yeah, it's been a really long recovery.
Is she cancer-free now?
She is, yeah.
Okay, well, that is the only good part about that story.
Yeah,
you
it's
just told
been
us.
crazy, man.
What do they do to then... Do they say, oh, sorry, or do they give you your money back?
Your next one's free.
Next one's free, surely.
The story's still developing. That's all I can say.
Oof.
Oh,
but there was no apology, if you want to know
way.
that. Yeah.
Tash Sultana's brand new EP, Return to the Roots, is out now. Tash, it's been a pleasure for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gary and Tommy.
Oh,
can't, they won't, they never will stop the party. I know you want. Go to Fridayz Live. Take a picture of me with a Kodak. Fridayz.
Fridayz Live is back with Mariah Carey, Pitbull, Wiz Khalifa, and more. Returning to Australia this October. Don't miss these icons and anthems. Tickets on sale Monday, June 2nd. All info at Fridayz.live. Powered by Macca's.
Whatever you go on to Fridayz Live for, whether it be Pitbull, you might be going for Mariah, you might be going for Wiz Khalifa, Lil Jon, Eve, Jordan Sparks, whoever you were there for, it is going to be an absolute belter of a show. R&B Fridays presents Fridayz Lives, and we have got 2 tickets to give away. Courtney is our winner today. Courtney loves Mariah Carey. Can you see there? What is it? Carey? Carey.
What? Have you forgotten how to say Mariah Carey?
I just think I'm putting too much emphasis on the Carey.
You're saying Carey, how people mispronounce your
My
name.
name, Carey.
Hey, Carey.
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey.
Why is it suddenly weird
I
to
don't
say?
know. But Courtney said, I would do anything to see her live. An idol of mine since a child. Her vocal ability, control, and emotion when singing is what music is.
Raw talent.
Exclamation mark. Is what music is.
Raw talent is hard to find nowadays in the artists. I
Oh,
just have
sorry,
so
I thought
much
these were just your
appreciation for
thoughts
her
now.
as a
You're
musical
just reading
artist.
Courtney's
Is
whole-
this web guy Eli's
I know.
application?
He loves
He does carry.
Anyway,
He carry
Courtney,
very
you're
much.
off to Fridayz Live.
If you would like to win, head to carrieandtommy.com.au to win. R&B Fridays presents Fridayz Live with Mariah Carey, Pitbull, Wiz Khalifa, Eve, Lil Jon, and heaps more returning to Australia this October. Don't miss those icons and anthems. Tickets are on sale next Monday. All info is at Fridayz.live. It's powered by Macca's.
Carrie and Tommy.
Across Australia for your Thursday arvo, it's Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
15 days is the countdown clock to the Big 5 Marathon, raising money for your foundation, Carrie. If people want to donate, Carrie's Beanies for Brain Cancer.com is where they go.
So nervous. You bought me a pair of trail gaiters today. I didn't even know what a gaiter was until we started prepping for this, and we spoke to a wonderful woman who had done the Big 5, and she said there's so much stuff that gets in your shoes, you need gaiters, which is a protecting like sock thing around your shoes so sand and stuff doesn't get in. So I got my gaiters here.
But
I don't even know if we're going to make it there, to be honest.
Well, I want to start by finding out whose idea this was. Not the run, obviously.
To try and kill us, you mean,
Yeah.
before we even get
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Was it web guy Eli?
No.
And when we say this idea, we should just say not the idea of the Big 5,
Yeah.
the idea of the thing we're about to talk about next.
There was an idea that was floating around, and I refined it to make it a bit more palatable.
So for the last few weeks, when we've been walking around the office, going to the bathroom,
Going down to our car at night,
there has been...
in my house when I walked up my
That's
stairs.
true. Yes, there has been a lion waiting for us.
Yeah.
And to prey on our shot central nervous systems
Yeah.
and jump out and scare us and causes us to nearly have a heart attack.
But it also makes us so shitty. It gets us really. There's
It
nothing worse than being scared. It actually makes me angry, but it also has left us with heart palpitations.
But you've got to prepare you for the jungle in Africa.
It's not a jungle.
Also, I think they're going to be nicer.
bush.
The lines are going to be nicer over there. We'll see them coming, I reckon. Whereas
you
the
are focusing
scare
on the wrong part. Scaredy
So,
cat.
what was the original idea, Eli, that you guys wanted to do?
So the original idea was to get the costumes and to recreate. Are you familiar with the show Jackass?
Yeah.
So there's an intro piece to that where everyone's running in slow motion and there are lions chasing them. But you're like privy to the fact that there are
Right.
lions behind you. There's no scare to it. And I just thought, when you're going through your Instagram, and I know Tommy's algorithm, when you go through your Instagram, when you see jump scare videos, you stay and watch, do you not?
You do.
You do. And I thought, why are we not using these lion costumes to actually scare Carrie and Tommy and create an amazing video?
That was your idea.
But you know what's funny? The first time you scared us, you were in full lion costume, and then you worked out the scare bit was all you needed. And by the last scare, and I think you've done this for like 10 times now, I don't even know if you had a costume on anymore. You just were a man hiding behind a
Producer Sammy the other day.
car park pylon.
Yeah, well, producer Sammy the other day was just under a table here as I was trying to get a Diet Coke from the fridge, and he just jumped out with just wearing basically the lion's head wrapped around his arm.
And that's enough.
And sales, I screamed so hard. The whole sales team here, up like meerkats, dead set, shit themselves.
Can we listen to if you think how would Carrie and Tommy handle being scared.
I'm fine with it.
We were pretty
a
cool
mess.
about it. Here's how it sounded.
Stop doing that!
It was great. You know what?
It's gotta stop! It's gotta stop! What are you doing? Today's not the day.
Today's not the day.
One day you picked it, a day I was having a shocking day, and it was the least, like, as a producer, you should be here to care for us, not to make our day worse.
I just want to go on the record that peer pressure got the better of me that day. I did not want to do it, but Eli said you have to do it, Sam. Otherwise, you lose
Actually,
your
at
job.
the end of that video, that last one, when you said today's not the day, I come up within seconds and you can hear it on the end of the video where I say, did you get the shot?
Follow Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little on socials at Carrie Tommy Show.
Bye.
Bye. Carrie and Tommy love a good deal, and CommBank Yellow has plenty. Cashbacks, discounts, and exclusive deals. Just for banking with CommBank. Say hello to CommBank Yellow today.